Supporting AWS infrastructure involves a range of activities. It requires ongoing monitoring, maintenance, and management to ensure that your environment is running smoothly, securely, and cost effectively. So, next, we are going to talk about how you support your AWS infrastructure once you transition some of your applications to the cloud. So, next, let's talk about the tools that AWS provide to support your infrastructure. And we are really talking about the AWS support, which is the service that enable you to file the support request with AWS resources. Within AWS support, there are two additional services that are also made available to you. The first is personal health dashboard and second is trusted advisor. So let's take a look at each of these services. Let's talk about the AWS trusted advisor. AWS Trusted Advisor helps you to optimize your use of AWS services. It's an automated tool to check your AWS uses against best practices. It checks your AWS infrastructure for potential issues and provide the recommendations for the improvement. It examines your security, performance, and cost efficiency settings and alerts you if there are any issues or if you could be saving some money. It also provides the actionable guidance on how to resolve the issues and improve your overall health of the AWS infrastructure. It's like having a personal advisor to check your AWS environment and give you the tips to improve it. All AWS customers get access to the 7 core checks of the trusted advisor, and it can be accessed from the AWS Management Console. Next, let's talk about AWS Personal Health Dashboard. Personal Health Dashboard is a web based service provided by AWS that helps AWS customers to improve their infrastructure health and performance. It provides real time alerts and guidance to help customers optimize their AWS resources, increase availability, and reduce the downtime. The Personal Health Dashboard monitors the health of the AWS services and resources used by the customer. It notifies about any potential issues such as service disruption or resource degradation and provide the recommendations to customers to resolve these issues quickly. Customers can use the AWS Personal Health Dashboard to view their account's overall health status, review the notifications and alerts, and manage their AWS resources. They can also customize the dashboard setting and filters to receive the alerts for specific services or resources. The AWS Personal Health Dashboard is free to use and available to all customers. Customers can access the dashboard through AWS Management Console, AWS CLI, or AWS SDK. Next, let's talk about the different support plans available to support the AWS infrastructure. There are different AWS support plan tiers available. Basic support. Basic support provide access to AWS Trusted Advisor and AWS documentations. Developer support provide 24/7 access to AWS support and access to the AWS Trusted Advisor. Business support provide 24/7 access to AWS support, AWS Trusted Advisor, and account management features. Enterprise support provide 24/7 access to AWS support, AWS Trusted Advisor, account management features, and technical account manager. So we need to understand the difference between the different support plan tiers available, and it really falls into four key areas. The first is communication method, which means how you can communicate with the AWS support engineers. Response time, which means how early you expect AWS to respond on your queries. And then we have the level of support, which means up to what level of support you want AWS to offer. And then we have the cost. So based on the response time, level of support, AWS charge the cost of the support services. So let's talk about the different types of support services offered by the AWS in more detail. First, we have the AWS Basic Support. AWS Basic Support is a cost-effective support plan and is available for all AWS customers and users who need assistance with AWS core services. The basic support include access to AWS documentations, white papers, and FAQs, as well as the ability to open and manage the support case with AWS. Basic support plan include a monthly usage report, access to AWS Trusted Advisor, and the ability to use the AWS Personal Health Dashboard to view the operational health of your resources. The cost of basic support is based on the total monthly usage of AWS services, and there is no minimum fee. Next, we have AWS Developer Support. AWS Developer Support is a support plan for developers that provides additional assistance with AWS services, such as the technical guidance and troubleshooting. This plan includes all features of the basic support. This plan is for developers who need more advanced support than what is included with the basic support. With developer support, you have access to technical experts who can help you with the code level issues, and you can also receive guidance on best practices for developing and deploying the applications on the AWS. Additionally, you get access to AWS technical support APIs and the AWS Support Center, which include tools for managing your support cases. The cost of developer support is based on the total monthly uses of the AWS services, and there is a minimum monthly fee. Developer support is limited to one primary contact. So that individual need to be the one who actually file the support request with the AWS. Next, let's talk about the AWS business support. AWS business support include all features of developer support and provides the full 24 into 7 technical support for businesses using the AWS services. This plan is designed for organizations that have high volume of users. It includes all features of developer support and full set of trusted advisor checks. With business support, you have 24 into 7 phone, email, and chat access to support engineers. So you can directly pick up a phone and actually call an engineer. Business support allow you to let all your resources have access to support center and file the support request. With AWS Business Support, you have access to a dedicated technical account manager who can help you with strategic planning, architecture design, and operational best practices. So, if you are in a scenario where you want help in deploying a third party software into AWS, this is the support tier that will help you. AWS Business Support starts at $100 per month and it is tied to your AWS usage. So, with more AWS users, you would end up paying more than just $100 per month. Next, let's talk about the AWS Enterprise Support. This plan includes 24 into 7 access to AWS technical support, a designated technical account manager, and access to online and in person training, as well as other benefits such as architectural guidance, best practices, and access to the AWS Trusted Advisor. It is designated for businesses that require a high level of support and have a critical need for AWS resources and services. Enterprise support starts at $15,000 per month. The cost of AWS enterprise support varies depending on the level of AWS usage. It is based on percentage of the overall AWS usage cost. So in this module, we started off by understanding the tools that are provided by AWS to support the workload in the cloud. And then we reviewed the specific AWS support plan tiers that they provide. We then talked about the AWS Trusted Advisor Check and the Personal Health Dashboard. So I hope you get the basic idea of the AWS support plans available and you can opt the best support plan as per your business requirements.